Hello, my name is Liberty Chapa and I will be presenting a costume construction from Heathers the Musical by Kevin Murphy and Lawrence O'Keefe. I proudly represent Troop 8742. Thank you. So this my final costume here, this is the blazer and this is the skirt. I chose Heather Chandler from Heathers. I did a small accent before the collar with the polka dot fabric and 2 D-ring buckles here. Now, to get more in depth of what I'm talking about here, I will show you my poster board. This is how I organized it. This is the inspiration sheet. These are the color swatches. This is the skirt construction. This is the jacket construction. And all the way down here is the expense breakdown. Now first I'll go over the inspirations / creative process. Now, I absolutely fell in love with this artwork here. I loved the red skirt. I loved basically her entire attire was my favorite, so I really wanted to incorporate that in my final design. Now, this live action here of Heather Chandler doing a lovely pose, I really liked the jacket, but I didn't like the skirt, so I ended up wanting to take inspiration from this jacket and this skirt and create some sort of mix. Now, this is my first preliminary sketch. I chose a black on white polka dotted accent for the collar, a basic plaid skirt, and a red base for the jacket. I also added the accents to the cuff and the pocket lining. And then for my final sketch, I nixed the black on white fabric and changed it to the other way around, so it was white on black because I thought it added a little bit more mystery. I also nixed the pockets because I thought it was too much of an eyesore, and I changed the pattern of the skirt to the one that I bought. Now the next thing we're going to cover are the color swatches. We're going to bring the board up one more time. Now these are the color swatches for the jacket. I had 3 options, this cherry red, this maroon color, and a little bit of in between. I ended up choosing this 3rd option here because it was the stretchiest, I had the most fabric of it, and it was the highest quality out of these 3. Now for the final swatches here, this is the jacket swatch. We've got the red and the polka dot for the collar, and then this is the swatch for the skirt. We've got the plaid and this red ribbon I used to attach the D-ring belts. Now the next thing we'll talk about is the skirt construction. Here I took a photo of the pattern. It's the Simplicity brand and it's 8746. Now the first thing I did was I took it out and I laid the pattern out on my pool table just so I could really get a grasp of what I was looking at. Then I cut out the pieces, put them on fabric, and then cut out the fabric pieces. Now here I started to align the pieces just to make sure I knew where they were going. Here's me sewing the 2 back pieces together. And then here I started to kind of guess where I wanted the pleats to go instead of doing the one that the pattern recommended, but in the end I went with the one the pattern recommended. And here I've got the pattern on my fabric, and I've got this marker here where I was dotting where all the pleats went. I also got my iron back here just to make sure I could hold everything down while I was still determining things. Here I'm pinning the pleats and I've got my pin cushion. Here's a wider shot of what I was just explaining. See my pattern, the marker, my pin cushion, my fabric. And here I'm setting everything in stone by sewing across the pleats. Here's my pin cushion, so while I'm sewing I can take the pins out. And here I got a I made a simple waistband and I flipped it upside down, ugly side up against the positive side of the fabric. So I sewed it and then I flipped it right side up so the ugly seam was covered. And out here I made sure that the skirt laid correctly on me. This is it. This is the piece before I added the buckles. Here I pinned it and I liked how it looked, so I added the buckles and made it permanent. Here's a front view of the piece. Here's a side view of the piece. And here's the piece not on me, so you can really grasp how it looks. Now on to the next thing is the jacket construction. Now, I will say, sadly, while I was creating my poster board, some of the photos got deleted through a corrupt program. So I will show you what I do have though. So here's the pattern. It's the brand new look N6636. Whoops. There we go. Here's the pattern spread out so you can really grasp how big it was. A little bit intimidated again. Here's the cutout pieces. Here's me laying the cutout pieces on my fabric. Here are the cutout pieces. And then here's where the sewing process began. I had the instructions open and I was looking at all the seams and where they lined up because the jacket is a little bit more difficult than the skirt. And then this was the first and only picture I had of the sewing process. This is where I sewed together the two back seams and I thought it looked really nice, especially how the fabric laid. You can't really tell through a photo, but it looked really cool. Okay, now on to the last thing before I show you a closer look of the costume, the expenses breakdown. One second. Okay, so the expenses breakdown. First, we've got the jacket pattern, new look. It was $8. We've got the skirt pattern, which was $14. We've got the plaid fabric, which was 2 yards, and it was $4.50 per yard, so it was $9. We've got the red fabric, which was 2 yards, it was $5 total. We've got the polka dot fabric, which was 1 yard, and it was $5. The black 1-inch ribbon, it was $3. The 1-inch D-rings was $7, and the red thread spool that I had was $13 because I didn't have red beforehand. Now the total was $64. And now the last thing I'll be showing you are the seams that I'm proud of the most. Now, my favorite part about this was the skirt. I really liked how it turned out, especially all the pleats. See, I wanted to add a little bit more reinforcement, so I sewed down each pleat and I did a back stitch. I did a back stitch to reinforce it. So there's the front, and then the back is also pretty cool. So here I had some pleats going this way and some pleats going this way, and here you can see where it's separated in the center. It's a little bit difficult to achieve that, but overall I did it. And then for the jacket, there's not much to say. It's a jacket, it's got a basic collar, it's got cuffs, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.